Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of 6 for 6. We're happy to be back from our 2 weeks on and off. I know we're getting closer to that college football season. I know we're almost like a month out, but we can't get more excited than this. I understand we want more content and be able to do weekly shows for you guys, but it's the summertime. It's hard to find good sporting events that are televised for you as a fan to watch these sporting events. So we got 5 good solid games for y'all today. And the number one game is happening tonight. So I got to make sure I get through this program relatively quickly so you can tune on your television or buy that last minute ticket and get to that game. I think it's a game that I don't think many people want to miss. So let's get the show on the road. But before we go into that, let's just break down. Last episode, we had 4 games. And out of those 4 games, ladies and gentlemen, we have done the milestone, the unthinkable on this show. We have a perfect pick'em. We went 4-0 on episode 19 of season 2. Fantastic way to rebound, going every other week. I think I'm very proud of going perfect on one of my pick'ems finally. Took us about, a lot of episodes, took us about like 20 episodes in the season to finally reach this part. I guess 19 episodes if we're going to not count today's episode. But yes, 19 episodes, and we finally hit that 4-0, perfect, no losses in our pick'ems. Hopefully we can increase this week with a 5-0 record and just keep snowballing these dubs and having a fantastic second half of this season. Like I said, it's those bye weeks. It really turns this thing around for a lot of teams. So like in my picks, we've turned it around and we're going to be on the up and up. But with that puts our record to 50-51, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we've crossed over the 100 mark in our pick'ems, but we're close to 500. I think, if I have Vegas odds, I'm 50%. I think you like some of those odds if I was a baseball player batting, 50%. I think that's really good with a high batting average like that. So, 2 pitches, you at least hit one of them, you either get on base and stuff like that. But here nor there. But let's get into tonight's program. So in the 5th slot, we got Major League Soccer with Minnesota United FC versus Portland Timbers, Saturday, July 30th at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific time on ABC. Guys, I just don't have enough information to really back this, but I give you some statistics. Total goals this season, Portland has 35 to Minnesota's 31, so obviously these teams can score. But if you look at goals against that they give up, Minnesota only gives up 26 goals compared to Portland's 31. So as you can see, Portland plays a lot of catch up and they score to make up for that deficit. So that's where you have that, difference where it lies. But as you can see on Minnesota, they will score but play solid defense, so they don't have to worry about a lot. But if you look at their team's track record against each other, majority of the time Minnesota has won it. And most recently, Portland has won it back in 2021 in November. But I think we're going to have a better solution. I think being more consistent and playing it safe. I'm going to go with Minnesota. And looking at their last, games that they had out of their last 5, they won 4 out of their last 5 with 1 draw compared to Portland's 3 wins and 2 draws. So I think this is probably a better safe chance to go with Minnesota on this one. I don't think there's too much to ask for in that. Now we're going to get into some WNBA in the 4th slot, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Seattle Storm versus the Washington Mystics. Definitely a great game to match up. Teams are relatively even. The record for the Storm is 18-10 with a away record of 6-6 compared to the Mystics. 9-4 home stand record with a 17-11 overall record this season. But if I'm looking at the overall spread and the teams that they faced, I'm going to have to go with the Seattle Storm on this one. I think this team has seasoned veterans with Sue Bird, I believe, last season. Last season is in the WNBA. I think they're trying to put them in the playoffs and really give her a farewell tour, I would say. So definitely, I would say a key game for them to, continue to solidify. And just looking at their last 5 games, Storm are 3-2 compared to the Washington Mystics 4-1 stand. A lot of teams that they played relatively similar, but at the same time, you got to focus on their defense and all that status. I would say Seattle has a better defense with averaging about almost 9 steals a game compared to Washington's 8 steals a game. You got some blocks and steals in there. I would say Seattle's more of a defensive team. If you're looking at their last 10 games, Seattle is 7-3 compared to Washington's 6-4. Definitely going to be a key game to look into, ladies and gentlemen. But with my pick on this, we're going to have to go with Seattle on this one, taking care of business. Next up in the third slot, more WNBA action. The New York Liberty versus the Chicago Sky. You can catch this game Friday, July 29th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time on CBS Sports. Definitely tune in for this. Definitely a great matchup. The Chicago Sky are having a fantastic season with a record of 21-7 with a homestand of 11-2, which kind of makes me feel like they're going to be a favorite in this matchup when they're going up against the New York Liberty, who are with a 5-8 away record with a 10-17 overall record this season. I think the Chicago Sky have been dominant. I think they will continue this momentum and pace. They may rest their people in this sense, but the Liberty are, won 1 out of their last 5. And looking at the Chicago Sky, they have won 4 out of their last 5. And the team that they lost to was the New York Liberty. So it's definitely going to be a revenge game for the Sky on this one. I don't think they're going to lose twice to them. It's not going to be like picking up your Uno cards and playing 2 for your mistakes. I think it's definitely going to be the Chicago Sky going to be able to avoid the pick up 2 in this scenario and win. Their overall record for the last 10 games, the Chicago Sky is 8-2 compared to the New York Liberty's 3-7. So I'm feeling the Chicago Sky in this one, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we're going to go to our MLB, the top 2 games that you do not want to miss, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure your market candles block your nights out for these top 2 games. We're going to start off with the Battle of Pennsylvania between the 2 great cities of the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Definitely 2 franchises and 2 cities in Pennsylvania that are known for some of their sports and a lot of their historical backgrounds. The underdog city, the brotherly love city of Philadelphia, and the steel city of Pittsburgh. 2 iconic cities, 2 iconic franchises going at it. Definitely tune in for this one. I'm going to have to agree with ESPN with the Phillies winning it. Phillies have a 63% chance of winning. Not 63. Yeah, more 64% chance of winning compared to the Pirates 36.5 victory chance. Looking at their last 5 games, they're basically 2-3 across the board, and the Phillies have a better record. They're 50-46, and the Pirates are 40-58. I'm feeling the Phillies on this one, taking care of business. Even though Pittsburgh is home, I just like how the Phillies are going to take care of business. I know they're just starting the series, so I don't have any other records of how they played each other, but I'm feeling that the Philadelphia Phillies will take care of business on Saturday, July 30th, 7:15 p.m. Eastern, 4:15 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cap this on off with the game of the evening. The game within less than 45 minutes, more like 44 minutes before we face off, before the first pitch, it is thrown, ladies and gentlemen. It's the game, the one, the only, the New York Yankees versus the New York Mets, the Battle of New York, ladies and gentlemen, happening tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. Definitely going to be a thriller to watch. I can feel the excitement in the air. If I was in New York right now, I would make sure I'd be on that metro, that subway, the Metro Pass, the PATH train. They get me to not the Yankee Stadium, but to the Mets Stadium. Just making sure you make your way down to that stadium and get on to the festivities. Yes, it's a Wednesday night, but I think you can't get better than this between these 2 franchises going at it. The Mets have actually been doing fantastic this season, and the Yankees have started to slip a little bit with some injuries and going on a losing streak. And ESPN has the Mets winning it with a 64% chance of winning it compared to the Yankees' 35% chance of winning it. The Mets record this season of 59-37 The Yankees record is 66-31, and their away and homestand records are relatively the same. Definitely going to be a clash of the Titans tonight, and I can't wait to see this unfold, this historical matchup. I would love to see it happen. I don't want to miss this game for the world, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go with the New York Mets on this one. I think it's definitely going to be a game for all of us to watch. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll make sure I do a quick recap of the games that I have selected for tonight, and then we'll bring this program to a close. So within the fifth spot, we have the Minnesota United FC versus Portland Timbers, Saturday, July 30th at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN, Deportes, and ABC. And I have Minnesota United FC winning it. In the fourth slot, we have the Seattle Storm versus the Washington Mystic. WNBA action, you can catch that Saturday, July 30th, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time on ESPN. I got the Seattle Storm taking care of business in this one. Next up, we got the New York Liberty versus the Chicago Sky. Friday, July 29th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time on CBS Sports. With that, we got the number 2 slot, the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, Saturday, July 30th, 7:15 p.m. Eastern, 4:15 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. And I got the Philadelphia Phillies taking care of business in Pittsburgh. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, to cap off the night, make sure you get your way over to that game. Make sure you turn on your TVs 40 minutes before the first pitch for this game. The New York Yankees versus the New York Mets tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. And I have the New York Mets winning this game, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely going to be a fantastic game to watch. And as the Mets go on I would say, not a historical run, but a franchise run to get into the postseason to have a great shot at winning the World Series. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I will review my last week's record. So in episode 19 of 6 for 6, we went 4-0, the first ever unbeaten pick'em in our show's history, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm keeping track of all of our wins and losses and all that stuff. Definitely gonna be worth the while to watch if we can go 5-0 and continue this momentum of getting perfect games, perfect selections. And with that, that improves our record to be 50-51, ladies and gentlemen. We are past the 100 mark for our pick'ems this season. Definitely excited for that milestone. And yes, college football is around the corner, which means we'll have more 6 for 6 weekly. Yes, I understand we're bi-weekly and all that stuff, but that's just due to the nature with all the sporting events and games being televised and making sure games don't overlap so you can watch the sporting events throughout your weekend so you're not bored and trying to figure out what do I do on these Saturdays when it's raining or it's too hot to go outside. Definitely going to be in the spirit for that. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude tonight's program. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy your evening. And we'll catch you next time in 2 weeks from now on Ison as well as 6 for 6. Take care for now. So long. Bye-bye.